Talking the latest regarding our Detroit Lions, and we're going to go over Lions Super Bowl odds after free agency because they have increased. We're going to talk about some mock drafts. I'm going to give you thought on these mock drafts, what I think is good, what I think is BS, and go all through that. But before we get into today's video, we are about 200 subscribers away from 7,000 here on Lions Nation Unite. So if you're one of these individuals who are watching not subscribed, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button and good to go. If you could do me a favor and hit that like button, that'd be fantastic. Let's get into this video. Pinch me right now to see if I am awake, because I gotta say this. Seeing the Lions in Super Bowl odds and not being the 32nd team is something I am absolutely not used to. And after free agency, well, even before free agency, the odds for the Lions making the Super Bowl was high. There's a lot of people high on the Lions football team as a whole. A lot of media outlets love what the Lions are doing. But after free agency, picking up Emmanuel Mosley, Cameron Sutton, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and all the rest that we've talked about, bringing in John Kaminsky back, Isaiah Buggs, the Lions' Super Bowl odds significantly increased as we are top 10 right now. Number 1, Kansas City Chiefs. There's no argument there. They won the Super Bowl last year. 49ers at 2. I love what the 49ers are. They're a physical football team, young as well. They're number 2. No problem there. Bills at 3. Obviously, they got the Josh Allens of the world over there. Philadelphia Eagles, who went to the Super Bowl last year, at 4. No argument. Bengals, who have been competing, went to the Super Bowl just 2 years ago and almost did it again. The Jets went up significantly. Obviously, they got a great defense, and they'll be adding Aaron Rodgers. Dallas Cowboys there. Now, I think this is interesting. Dallas at 7. They're always in the mix, but they're never doing anything. But then you have the Detroit Lions at 8. At plus 2,500. Okay? To win the Super Bowl. And if you look at the list, you have the Philadelphia Eagles for the NFC. You have the Dallas Cowboys for the NFC. And you have the San Francisco 49ers. Look, I can't argue with that, except for the Dallas Cowboys one. Maybe you put another team in there, but they are a good team. I don't know about Super Bowl team, but they're good. But the Detroit Lions are right there with them to win the Super Bowl. It's amazing what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell has done with 2.5 years now of being in control of this football team, taking over a roster of what Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia did. They just destroyed it. And in 2.5 years, I'm doing half years right now because we're in free agency. We're about a month away from the draft. To completely reshape this roster to a Super Bowl caliber roster is amazing. Absolutely amazing. No doubt Brad Holmes should be GM of the year. And if we win a playoff game, host a playoff game, Dan Campbell needs to be head coach of the year. But what they have done, reshaping this roster, is a stunner that they've done it so quick. So huge shout out to Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and we got to show some love to Sheila Ford Hamp. Got to show some love to Spielman, everybody in there, Disner, all the leadership right now for the Lions brass to make this team this well when it comes to potentially winning the Super Bowl for Vegas odds. And as we know, Vegas likes to win. The house always wins. They don't just do this to lose money or for a publicity stunt. They want to make money. So for that to be this way is absolutely crazy. Let's get into some mock drafts, though, here. Mel Kiper Jr., Daniel Jeremiah dropping some mock drafts. Got to give you my thoughts on this one. Think it's out of the realm here. I got to believe this. Out of the realm. We'll start with Mel Kiper first. At 6, he goes Jaylen Carter from Georgia. I think he's a supreme talent. I love him as a talent-wise It's just the last month has been really brutal for this guy with the issues of the car accident and not doing well at the pro day. You got to be concerned about gaining the weight, not finishing the workout, in which Todd McShay said he's never seen that from a player not finishing a workout. And it gives you ideas, this could be a Nick Fairley type of situation here. I'm going to let Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, they know what they're doing. I'm sure they've done their investigation. From what I've heard, they're not going to take him. Things could change. It could be absolute blowing smoke. But I just don't know. I personally don't believe they do take. I don't believe that's just smoke. I believe they legitimately don't take him. So, but I don't get upset with Mel Kiper going here. He is a supreme talent. I do have issue with this 18th pick, Michael Mayer. Absolutely stupid. Why do these people keep going tight end? Just because we traded T.J. Hockenson, they think that we have a need for tight end. They actually do not do any sort of investigating and seeing, wow, Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra, and James Mitchell did good, really good after he left. The tight end room got better. The touchdowns got better. The blocking got better. The conversions got better. I don't care if it's a hodgepodge. Well, these are just a hodgepodge of tight ends. The hodgepodge works. We don't need a number one tight end, a big name in here. And if you look at the first-round tight ends, they just haven't done well. Kyle Pitts, we all thought this guy would be the second coming of Megatron for tight ends. Ain't done a lot. T.J. Hockenson, ain't done a lot. Eric Ebron, ain't done a lot. Brandon Pettigrew may be of the best one, in Lions history. And it wasn't that great. You can get if you're wanting to get a tight end, you can do what Brad Holmes did. Draft one late and undrafted free agents. You can find the tight ends. Perfectly fine there. Let's go ahead and go to Daniel Jeremiah here. And I disagree with his pick 6, not because I don't think the player is good. I think the player is really good. But there's just no room right now. He has the Lions going Devon Witherspoon, cornerback from Illinois. At this point, the DB room is full of supreme talent. You got Jeffrey Okudah, who's still on this roster, okay? Because if you draft Devon Witherspoon, what are you going to do, not play him? Or you're not going to play Okudah? Because right now you got Cameron Sutton, who's going to be playing. You got Emmanuel Mosley, who's going to be playing. And you got C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who's safety and can play nickel. He played nickel for Aaron Glenn. So that's 3 cornerbacks that could be starting. Now it's a little bit different. You got Jeffrey Okudah, who's still a corner, all right? So you got Will Harris, who's a corner / safety / just backup guy. They got a guy last year in the draft. So at some point, corner is, you're not even going to be playing the guy, really, in all honesty. So I don't think they go cornerback at pick 6. I don't think it's a need. I don't think they're going to go there. I think they'll go defensive line or trade up or down or maybe do a shocker like offensive line or something else. But I just don't see corner being a need at 6. I don't. I think that is improbable. What he's got here at 18, I do like what he did here at 18. I think this is probable if they don't go interior defensive line at 6. He got Calijah Kancey going to the Lions at 18. I think that's probable because we do have a major need. Calijah Kancey fits that role of interior defensive line opposite well of what Aleem McNeil does. He can get to the passer. He's more leaner. He's that other defensive tackle we thought that Levi potentially could be. So I think this is a legit option. He's a high riser, and he is the same size and physical stature that Aaron Donald is. I'm not saying he's Aaron Donald, but he's that prototype of size and stature. So I think this would be a solid pick. I do like this option here at pick 18. For the Detroit Lions, you put him there and you finish that defensive line. You get that defensive line to be like the Lions' offensive line. The trenches is fixed, and we don't have to hear about it for some time. Trenches. It would be pretty much solid. And again, they could go with 6. They could go edge if they really want to go edge. We do have a ton of edges, and it's the same situation here with kind of not going there because you have so many, but there's such a high talent of Will Anderson and a Tyree Wilson that they just go there, and you know you can never have enough edges. So that's one of the things I could definitely see for the Detroit Lions. A lot of talk about Hendon Hooker now potentially being a first-round pick. I don't know that will be the case. I think he's a second-round stud. I wouldn't take him in the first round for the Detroit Lions at 18. I'd rather go a different route. If he goes in the first round, maybe it'd be to like the Minnesota Vikings. Daniel Jeremiah's got him there. And that's an interesting one because I talked to a lot of Vikings fans and they concur. They want Hendon Hooker. I just think he's more of a second-round value. And I'm all about drafting BPA and not overdrafting any said position, quarterback included. Any position, I'd just go BPA. So if we were to get a Hendon Hooker, it'd have to be in the second round. But if these mock drafts turn out right, he wouldn't be there in the second round. Would you guys take Hendon Hooker at 18 if you're worried that he wouldn't be there? Personally, I would not. I'm all about BPA, any position. So I just want to get the roster better and continue to build the depth there. I think that's just the best way to go. And again, wide receiver could be an option at 18. Quentin Johnson, I don't see an issue them. If DJ Chark leaves in free agency, he legitimately could be an option at 18, and I think that would be the right way to go. In all honesty, if he's available, he's that big body, 6'3", 6'4", 4'3", 40, and you would have a young trio of wide receivers in Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, and Johnson. So I think that would be a really good option for the Detroit Lions. But let me know in the comment section your thoughts. If there's any breaking news, we're still on a Chark watch. We're still on Chark week here. I'll let you know. We will drop a video here. It just hasn't happened yet. So, or if we sign a backup quarterback, whatever the case is, make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the latest news and rumors regarding our Detroit Lions.